Hello and welcome to the Destination Knit podcast. I'm Summer. This is going to be episode 4. If you've seen the previous few episodes, then thank you so much for coming back. And if this is your first time, then you're welcome to go check those out, or you can start here. If you like it, then go ahead and click subscribe. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Destination Knit. I don't have anything going on in the Ravelry groups or anything like that, but if anyone's interested in that, I sure could start it. So, jumping into finished objects, I have finished my villa top. Here it is, all complete. I finished it like the week before last when I would have had a podcast episode, but I didn't. But I hadn't seamed it together, and that was the only thing I'd been working on, and that was the only thing I had to share, and I knew that my episode would be like 2 minutes long, because I'd be like, alright, well, here's my only thing I've worked on, and I don't have it finished, and that's it. So, I didn't share anything. That's the only reason I didn't podcast last week. But, I'm doing it this week, so that counts for something. Alright, so this is my top. It's, it looks the same on both sides. The stripes lined up a little bit differently, but overall it's the same. It's really comfortable. If you want to see it on a person, then you can look at my Instagram page, or my Ravelry page, because I have pictures with it on me in both of them. It's like it's knit out of Barocco Medina yarn, and it's really soft. It's like a really light, I don't exactly know what it's made out of, but it feels like a cottony linen kind of really loose summery fabric. If you're gonna make a top like this, I think it has to be out of something like that. So I did make it, I went down a needle size, but I couldn't get gauge, so I made it the second size, trying to get the third size, and that's what I got, like dimension-wise, but I knit it inch-wise for the second size, which I shouldn't have done. I should have had enough sense for that, but so the sleeve holes are like a little bit too snug. They should have been, I think, half an inch bigger, but I was tired of knitting, so I just went with it. They fit fine, but if I were to make it again, I would do it a half an inch bigger, you know what I mean? Just to have like a little bit more room there. So my second finished object is already been finished, but I blocked it, so you'd be amazed to see that it looks like a normal shirt now. It's actually like stretched out, and you can see that there are real sleeves on it. They're not like this big. So it's amazing what blocking can do for you. If you want to know any like details about this, it's on my project page, what yarn I used and all that. I don't remember what that was right now, but I think this turned out really well, and blocking it definitely did help. So I would recommend that. And most of Jessie May Designs, I believe, is the person who designs this. All of her patterns are rippled like that with the knit 3, purl 3 ribbing, and I think all of them just like need a really heavy blocking. So note that if you're going to do any of her patterns. My last finished object is a pair of socks. There are 2. I knit these for a friend who's kind of struggling right now, and I thought these would be just something bright and cheery. I'm going to mail them. I think I'll mail them out tomorrow, but they're just fun primary colors, and he likes his socks to be really short, so I did 15 rows of ribbing and 15 rows of stockinette before I started the heel. And I didn't use a pattern, it's just a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and then I decrease for the toes. So, yeah. The yarn that I used was like Deep Stash. I got it from either Hobby Lobby or AC Moore like 8 years ago or something, so I have no idea what it's called. I threw away the band on it, so I can't tell you. And I knit these with the US 1. I knit all of my socks magic loop on wooden Chaigu needles. That's how I like to do it. I started these on Friday and I finished them yesterday, which was Wednesday. So I got these done pretty quickly, but they were like the only thing that I was really working on those days. So I hope he likes them. And then my last thing to talk about is a work in progress / half finished object. And that is some fingering mitts. This is, excuse me, this is the Spruce fingering mitt pattern. Is that going to blow it out? By the Crazy Sock Lady. And it's a cable pattern. It says that they kind of look like spruce trees in there. I don't know if I buy it, but I think it is a cute cable pattern. And I wanted some fingerless mitts because, you know, your hands always get cold. I don't know about you. My hands always get cold. My hands are always like little ice cubes. But I don't ever like wearing gloves or mittens because then you like lose the mobility in your fingers, like if they're trapped inside mittens, or you like can't use your phone because you can't touch anything. So I thought that fingerless mitts would be the right thing to do, and they fit really well. They're a little bit long right here, like you can see my pinky's like barely sticking out. I don't know if that's how they're supposed to fit. I've never made fingerless mitts before. I don't think it's like a design flaw. I think it's like a me flaw because I have really small hands too. But I'd rather them be like a little long and like I can still use my fingers obviously, but they'll be warmer than like them be like really short and then like you're cold anyways. And I do like how long the cuff is because then if you have like a sleeve and the wind goes through your sleeve, like you'll still have like warm wrists. So that's that. I haven't sewn in any of my ends obviously, but it's blowing it out a bit. But it's a nice like navy color. This is more like true to the real color of it. It's a really dark navy. And I have the hardest time knitting on it. I don't know about you, but I just like can't knit dark colors when it's not really bright in my room. So like I was trying to knit the thumb gusset last night because I was like, oh, it's only like 10 rows and I can get that done and then show it on the podcast when I record it today. And I was like knitting it under the lamp in the living room and I was like, I like can't see anything. This is so hard. I was like, I hope I don't drop a stitch because I will never be able to find it again. And it ended up coming out fine. It looks good. But I can only knit on this yarn when it's like a day like right now when it's like, you know, 12, the window's completely open, the light's on, it's very bright in here, I'm very awake. It's the only time that I can work on it. So I have another one of these to make. And I have a sweaters quantity of this yarn, and I think I'm going to make a hat and a cowl with it. So I kind of have like a winter set. But I don't want to cast them on all at once because then I only have projects that I can work on during the day, and I need something to work on at night, like when I'm tired and when I still want to work on something because I'm still like awake but not very awake and it's dark and you know. So I think I'm going to cast on a pair of socks. I am part of the Curious Handmade Sock Society, and what that is she just sends out, it was like a thing on Ravelry, and she sends out patterns every month, and I think you can still sign up for it if you look it up. But she's already sent out 3. I think there were 6. And so she sent out 3 already. I did the first month, and then last month I didn't get around to doing it, but I didn't love the pattern. It's really holey and like it's kind of lacy looking. And I tend to wear my socks in boots, and I think it would like rub my feet weirdly, and so I decided not to do that one. But that's not to say I won't ever do it because I still have the pattern obviously. So I might do it, or I might knit them for someone else because they're really pretty. I just don't think they're practical for me. But the one for this month that she just released, I think are really pretty and I think I would like. So I think I'm going to knit those. I have yarn for those and I have yarn for another pair of socks. So I think I'm going to get started on one of those today probably. I did order some yarn. I ordered 2 sweater quantities of Holst yarn, but it's from Denmark and it said that it shipped on the 17th and I never got like a shipping number, and so I emailed them and was like, hey, like is it going to come in? And they said that it was definitely sent and it has left Denmark, but it's like unofficially taking 4 weeks to get anything to the US right now because like everything, like everybody's getting stuff ordered and shipping's just like a nightmare right now. So I thought it was going to get here a little bit faster. Like I knew it took a while to get stuff from Europe, but I thought it was going to be a tad bit faster than that. So I don't think I'll be starting a sweater anytime soon, but it's also warming up here, so I don't really need a sweater right now. So I guess it'll all work out. But I think by the time I finish, you know, the other one of these and a cowl and a hat and 2 pairs of socks, maybe my other yarn will be here. We'll see, I guess. So that was the other thing, is I don't want to cast on multiple things in this yarn. Like I don't want to be only working on the fingerless mitts and the hat and the like cowl. Like I don't want those to be like my 3 projects for this week, because then I could only knit during the day, and then at night I'd be like, what do I do? Like I can't see anything, so I can't work on anything. So I definitely need to only have like 1 project in the dark yarn and then like 1 in a lighter yarn. But I want to use I think this yarn is really soft. It's Heritage, Cascade, Heritage, solid, whatever fingering yarn that they have, and it's really soft, and I think it'll work well for what I want it to be. It's just so hard to see. That's my only complaint. But I chose the yarn, so that's my fault. My other thing that I was going to mention is that Julie from Twin Stitches Design, on her Instagram, which is Julie Ann Knitter, she is hosting a week-long knit-along or week-long knitting challenge, and it's to knit anything. So just start a project and finish a project in a week, and she'll like draw prizes and things like that. So if you want to learn more about that, then you should check out her Instagram, and again, that's Julie Ann Knitter. And you should be involved in it. It's really fun. You don't have to like pick anything hard, especially if like, you know, you're not a very fast knitter or you're worried about, you know, time constraints. Like it shouldn't be something that's stressful. It should be something that's really fun and encouraging, and you can post pictures of it. So I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know what I want to be my project yet, but it'll start Sunday and it'll go to the next Saturday or Sunday. You'll have to look at her post for all the like real details, but it's just to knit something and like finish a project in a week. So I hope I'll see you there. And last thing, I've been doing recommendations on my last few podcasts, but I don't have any for this week because it hasn't been a very exciting week here, and I don't really have anything going on. I've been doing a lot of reading, but none of the books that I read were very good, and like it's nothing that I would recommend to anyone. So yeah, I don't really have any recommendations. If anyone has any recommendations for me, any like patterns I should try, or books I should read, or recipes I should try, then I'd love to hear it. I love other people's input, but I don't really have anything. So it's been pretty boring here. Not much exciting. I'm sure everyone else can relate to that, also being stuck inside. So I hope everyone gets some knitting time this week, and I hope you join that knitting challenge because that could be really fun. But that's all I got for you, so I hope I'll see you next week. Happy knitting.